Subscribe to my YouTube channel right now because you're about to hear a story so wild, so twisted, it'll leave you clutching your pearls or your phone, depending on how dramatic you're feeling today. Picture this. Me, sitting at my vanity, slathering on the latest retinol serum that's supposed to turn back time, when my whole world flips upside down. My kids? Oh, they're plotting. My grandkids? Little devils with secrets sharper than a guillotine. And my love life? Let's just say it's a roller coaster with no brakes, careening straight into a mess of heartbreak and betrayal. How did a simple skincare routine unravel this chaos? Grab a snack, lock the door, and let's dive into this this story, together. I've always been a sucker for a good skincare promise. Those sleek little bottles with their fancy labels whispering sweet nothings about youthful glow and erasing years? They're my kryptonite. So when I got my hands on the hottest retinol serums of 2025, straight from some lab that probably costs more than my house, I was ready to transform. Who wouldn't want to strut into the grocery store looking like they just stepped off a yacht instead of chasing grandkids around the backyard? That night, I dimmed the lights, lit a candle, mostly to hide the fact that my bathroom needs a deep clean, and started my routine. The first serum smelled like money and desperation, a thick, golden goo that slid onto my skin like silk. I rubbed it in, imagining my wrinkles waving bye-bye. This is it, I told my reflection. The fountain of youth in a dropper. I was feeling smug, like I'd cracked some cosmic code. Little did I know, the real cracks were about to show up in my life, not my face. The next morning, I woke up to chaos. My daughter, Lisa, was banging on my door like she was auditioning for a SWAT team. "Mom, open up. We've got a crisis." I stumbled out of bed, still half dreaming about my yacht fantasy, and flung the door open. Lisa's face was redder than the time she caught her ex with the neighbor's dog walker. "It's Ethan," she hissed, shoving her phone in my face. Ethan's my grandson, a lanky little terror who thinks he's God's gift to TikTok. The screen showed his video, titled "Grandma's Face Melted and So Did Our Family." I nearly dropped dead right there. What in the fresh hell is this? I snatched the phone and hit play. There was Ethan, all smug with his stupid backwards cap, holding up a bottle of my retinol serum. "So my grandma's been using this creepy stuff," he said, zooming in on the label. "And last night, I swear, I heard her screaming like a banshee. Check this out." The video cut to a blurry shot of me in my bathroom, mid-routine, hollering because I'd accidentally gotten serum in my eye. He'd edited it with some cheap horror filter. My face looked like a melting candle, complete with eerie sound effects. The little brat had been spying on me. "Lisa," I said, my voice shaking with rage, "why is your son filming me like I'm some reality TV reject?" She crossed her arms, glaring. "Don't blame me. You're the one who's obsessed with those potions. Maybe if you weren't so vain, he wouldn't have material." Oh, that stung.
Vain? Me?
I was just trying to keep up with the times. But before I could fire back, my phone buzzed. A text from my son, Mark. "Mom, we need to talk. Ethan's video is blowing up, and now Chloe's involved."
Chloe.
My other grandkid. The princess of the family, all doe eyes and designer handbags she can't afford. I groaned. What's she done now? Lisa smirked, like she was enjoying this. "Oh, you'll see. She's got a new boyfriend, and he's in on it." I felt a chill, not the good kind, like when you step out of a hot shower into AC, but the bad kind, like when you realize your family's about to drag you through the mud for likes and follows. I stormed to my vanity, glaring at the retinol serum like it was the root of all evil. "You," I muttered, shaking the bottle. "You're supposed to fix my face, not my life." But deep down, I knew it wasn't the serum's fault. It was just the spark. The real fire? That was my kids and grandkids, ready to burn everything down for a laugh, or a lover. And, trust me, it only got worse from there. By noon, I was knee-deep in damage control. Mark showed up at my house, his beard scruffier than usual, looking like he hadn't slept since the last time he bailed Chloe out of some mess. "Mom," he said, pacing my living room, Chloe's new guy, some sleaze named Trent. He's egging her on. They're planning a whole expose series about your skincare obsession. Ethan's already sent them footage. I blinked. Footage? What footage? I'm not a damn documentary. Mark sighed. You don't get it. They think you're hiding something. Like secret Botox or a sugar daddy funding all this. I laughed, cackled really, because the idea was so absurd I couldn't help it. A sugar daddy? Mark, the only sugar in my life is the donuts I sneak when you're not looking. He didn't laugh back. Instead, he pulled out his phone and showed me Chloe's latest Instagram story, a photo of my vanity, captioned, "Grandma's got secrets, and we're spilling them all. Stay tuned." The little vixen had snuck in here, snapped a pic, and turned my sacred space into her soapbox. I was livid, but also curious. What did they think I was hiding? I mean, sure, I had a stash of expensive creams I didn't tell anyone about, mostly because Lisa would lecture me on wasting money. But a scandal? That was a stretch. Or so I thought. Because that night, while I was slapping on another layer of retinol, out of spite mostly, the doorbell rang. And standing there, dripping in cologne and a grin that screamed trouble, was Trent. "Hey, gorgeous," he said, leaning against the frame like he owned the place. "Heard you're the star of the show. Mind if I get a closer look at that magic serum?" I froze. This wasn't just about skincare anymore. This was about to get personal and messy. Real messy. So there I was, standing in my doorway, retinol still tingling on my cheeks, staring at Trent like he'd just crawled out of a bad cologne commercial. The man was a walking red flag, tight shirt unbuttoned one too many times, hair gelled into a wave that screamed, "I spent 45 minutes on this," and a smirk that made me want to slam the door and call it a night. But I didn't. Oh no. I had to hear him out because apparently my life wasn't chaotic enough already. "Trent, right?" I said, crossing my arms so he wouldn't think he could waltz right in. "What do you want with my serum?" Planning to steal it and sell it on eBay. He chuckled, a low, greasy sound that made my skin crawl, and not in the good, retinol-induced way. "Nah, babe," he said, stepping closer. "I'm here to help Chloe tell your story. The real one. The juicy stuff." I raised an eyebrow. "Juicy? Honey, the only juice around here is the orange kind I keep for the grandkids." He didn't bite at the joke. Instead, he pulled out his phone and started scrolling like he was about to unveil the Magna Carta. "See, Chloe's got this theory," he said, eyes glinting. "She thinks you're not just slapping on fancy creams to look good. She thinks you're prepping for something big, like a new man." I snorted so loud I surprised myself. A new man? Trent, the last new man in my life, was the plumber who fixed my sink last month, and he charged me double. But Trent wasn't laughing. He held up a photo, blurry, grainy, taken through my kitchen window. It was me sitting at the table, laughing with someone.
A guy.
My neighbor, Rick, who'd popped by to drop off a casserole after his wife made too much. Chloe had snapped it, twisted it, and now Trent was waving it like it was proof I was some secret seductress. "Who's this guy, huh?" he pressed. "Chloe says you've been sneaking around. Ethan's got more pics too." I felt my blood boil. "That's Rick, you dimwit. He's married, and the only thing I'm sneaking is extra cheese from his wife's cooking." But Trent just grinned wider, like he'd caught me in a lie. Sure. That's what they all say. But Chloe's got a whole script ready. Grandma's secret lover. The skincare cover-up. It's gold. We're filming tomorrow. I wanted to strangle him. Or Chloe. Or both. But before I could decide, my phone buzzed. Lisa again. I answered, still glaring at Trent. "What now?" I snapped. Her voice was frantic. "Mom, Chloe's at my place, crying her eyes out. Says Trent dumped her for some influencer, but now he's back, and she's freaking out about you." I glanced at Trent, who was still smirking like he hadn't just been accused of two-timing my granddaughter. "Lisa," I said, "get over here.
Now.
We've got a pest problem." 10 minutes later, Lisa burst through the door, her hair a mess and her eyes wild. Trent didn't even flinch. "Hey, Lise," he said, winking. Looking good. She ignored him, turning to me. Mom, what's he doing here? Chloe's a wreck. She says he's using her to get to you. I threw up my hands. Using her? For what? My skincare stash? It's not like I'm hiding diamonds in the moisturizer jar. But then Trent dropped the bomb. Oh, it's not about the creams, ladies, he said, leaning in like he was about to share the meaning of life. It's about the guy. Chloe thinks you're after her man, me. That's why she's flipping out. And I'm here to stir the pot. I stared at him, dumbfounded. You? She thinks I want you? Trent, I wouldn't date you if you came with a lifetime supply of retinol and a yacht to match. Lisa burst out laughing, a sharp, manic sound that cut through the tension. Oh, this is rich. Mom, stealing Chloe's boyfriend? That's the funniest thing I've heard all year. But I wasn't laughing, because the idea that Chloe's sweet, spoiled Chloe thought I was after her sleazy boyfriend was so ridiculous it looped right back around to terrifying. What kind of family did I raise where this was even a possibility? Before I could process it, the doorbell rang again. I groaned, stomping over to answer it, ready to tell whoever it was to get lost. But it wasn't a stranger. It was Chloe, mascara streaking down her face, clutching a half-empty bottle of wine she'd clearly swiped from Lisa's house. Grandma, she sobbed, shoving past me. Why are you doing this to me? I saw you with Trent. I know what's going on. I turned to see Trent grinning, Lisa gaping, and Chloe collapsing onto my couch like a melodramatic soap star. Chloe, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I wouldn't touch Trent with a 10-foot pole dipped in sanitizer. What's wrong with you? She hiccuped, pointing at him. He said you flirted with him, that you invited him here. He's mine, Grandma. Mine. Trent shrugged, like this was all a game.
Told you, babe.
It's good drama. Lisa stepped forward, fists clenched. You little weasel, you're playing my daughter? And my mom. I grabbed her arm before she could lunge. Hold up, Lisa. Let's not give him the satisfaction. But inside, I was seething. This wasn't just about skincare anymore. This was a full-blown family war, and Trent was the match lighting the fuse. Chloe wailed louder, spilling wine on my rug. I can't believe you'd betray me like this. I rolled my eyes. Betray you? Sweetheart, the only thing I'm betraying is my budget with these serums. But she wasn't listening. She was too busy glaring at Trent, who was now texting someone, probably his next victim. Lisa grabbed the wine bottle from Chloe's hand. Enough. We're sorting this out right now. And that's when Mark walked in, because of course he did. Timing's never been his strong suit. What's going on? He demanded, taking in the scene. Chloe sobbing, Lisa fuming, Trent smirking, and me standing there with retinol still drying on my face. Oh, just a typical night, I said, voice dripping with sarcasm. Trent's convinced Chloe I'm stealing him. Lisa's about to commit murder, and I'm wondering why I didn't stick to plain old soap. Mark blinked, then shook his head. I need a drink. I pointed at Chloe's wine puddle. Too late. She's already claimed it. And as the room erupted into shouts, Lisa at Trent, Chloe at me, Mark at everyone, I realized something. That retinol serum wasn't just smoothing my skin. It was peeling back layers of family drama I didn't even know existed. And, trust me, it was about to get uglier. The living room was a battlefield, and I was stuck in the middle, my retinol-slick face gleaming under the light like some kind of ironic war paint. Chloe was sprawled on the couch, sobbing into a throw pillow like she'd just lost the love of her life. Trent, of all people. Lisa was pacing, muttering threats under her breath, while Mark stood by the door, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. And Trent? That slime ball was lounging against my wall, scrolling his phone, probably live-tweeting the chaos he'd caused. I'd never wanted to yeet someone out a window more in my life. All right, enough. I finally shouted, clapping my hands like I was breaking up a pack of rowdy dogs. This is my house, not a circus, and I'm not running a dating service for granddaughters or a punching bag for daughters. Chloe, sit up. Lisa, stop pacing. Mark, help me out here. And Trent, Get off my wall before I use you to test how strong this retinol really is. Chloe hiccuped, wiping her nose on my pillow gross, and glared at me. You don't get it, Grandma. He said you were all over him, that you wanted him to leave me. Trent smirked, not even looking up from his phone. I might have exaggerated a little. Keeps things spicy. Lisa whirled on him. Spicy? I'll show you spicy, you little. Mark grabbed her arm just as she lunged, pulling her back. Lisa, cool it. Let's figure this out before someone ends up on the evening news. I turned to Chloe, hands on my hips. Sweetheart, listen to me. Trent's about as appealing to me as a week-old tuna sandwich. I didn't flirt with him, I didn't invite him, and I sure as heck don't want him. He showed up here like a stray cat looking for scraps. Chloe blinked, mascara-smudged eyes narrowing. Then why's he here?
Huh?
Explain that. I pointed at Trent. Ask him. He's the one stirring the pot like it's his full-time job. Trent finally looked up, shrugging. Chloe's cute when she's jealous. And you, he winked at me, you're feisty. Makes for good content. I gaped at him. Content? You're turning my family into a reality show for your 15 minutes of fame? He grinned. More like 15 million views. Ethan's already editing the next video. You're trending, babe. Mark groaned, rubbing his temples. Ethan's in on this too? I thought he was just being a dumb kid with that first clip. I threw up my hands. Oh, he's dumb, all right. Dumb enough to think I'd let this slide. Lisa smirked, despite herself. Mom, you've got to admit, it's kind of funny. You, the skincare queen, caught in a love triangle with Trent. I shot her a look that could have curdled milk. Funny? Lisa, the only funny thing here is your brother thinking he can mediate this mess with a hangover and a prayer. Mark scowled. Hey, I'm trying. But you're all yelling so loud I can't hear myself think. Chloe sniffled, sitting up straighter. It's not my fault. I love Trent, and he said, I cut her off. Chloe, honey, Trent doesn't love anyone but his own reflection. Look at him. He's practically drooling over his phone right now. Trent chuckled. Guilty. Just got a DM from a chick who saw the drama. She's into it. That did it. Chloe sprang off the couch, wine-stained and wild-eyed, and launched herself at Trent. You're texting other girls? Now? In front of me. Lisa cheered, actually cheered, like this was a wrestling match. Get him, Chloe. Mark stepped in, pulling Chloe back as she flailed. Whoa, let's not give him more footage. But Trent was already filming, holding his phone up like a shield. This is gold, keep going. I'd had it. I marched over, snatched the phone from his hand, and held it high. Enough. This stops now. Trent, you're out. Chloe, you're grounded. Yes, I can still ground you. Don't test me. Lisa, Mark, help me get this clown out of my house. Trent lunged for his phone, but I sidestepped, tossing it to Mark. Hold this. He doesn't get it back until he's gone. Lisa grinned, grabbing Trent's arm. With pleasure. Mark took the other side, and together they dragged him toward the door, him protesting the whole way. You're ruining my career. This is assault. I'll sue. I rolled my eyes. Sue me? With what? Your charm. Good luck finding a lawyer who'll take you seriously. Chloe wailed as they shoved him out, slamming the door behind him. He's gone. You've ruined everything. I turned to her, softening just a bit.
No, sweetheart.
He was ruining you. You deserve better than a guy who'd pit you against your own grandma for clicks. She sniffled, collapsing back onto the couch. But I loved him. Lisa sat beside her, patting her back. You love the idea of him. Big difference. Trust me, I've been there. Mark handed me Trent's phone. What do we do with this? I smirked. Wipe it. Or better yet, drop it in the toilet. Call it a cleanse. For a moment, there was silence. Blessed, beautiful silence. Then Chloe giggled, a tiny, hiccupy sound. You'd really flush his phone? I grinned. In a heartbeat. Maybe it'd teach him to stop fishing in our family pond. Lisa laughed too, and even Mark cracked a smile. You're savage, Mom, he said. I shrugged. Years of practice raising you lot.
But the peace didn't last.
My phone buzzed again. Ethan this time. A text. Grandma, check X. You're viral. And Chloe's freaking out online now. I groaned, showing the screen to Lisa. What now? She peeked, then gasped. Oh no. She's live streaming. From your couch. I whipped around to see Chloe, phone in hand, mascara still streaking, ranting to her followers. My grandma kicked my boyfriend out and now my life's over. She's stealing my thunder. Mark face-bombed. She's turning this into a soap opera. I sighed, sinking into a chair. She's not wrong. But if I'm the villain, I'm at least going to look good doing it. Lisa smirked. That retinol's working overtime then. I touched my face, realizing it did feel smoother despite the madness. Small victories, I muttered. But as Chloe's sobs echoed through her live stream and Ethan's video kept racking up views, I knew this wasn't over. Trent might be gone, but the drama he'd unleashed was sticking around like a bad rash. And my skincare routine? It was officially the least of my worries. I sat there, staring at Chloe as she blubbered into her phone, broadcasting her heartbreak to the world like she was the star of some tragic play. My living room, my sanctuary, was now a live studio, complete with bad lighting and worse vibes. Lisa was still smirking, Mark was scrolling Trent's confiscated phone like it was a crime scene, and I was wondering how a simple retinol serum had turned me into the family's punching bag. The absurdity of it all hit me like a truck, and I couldn't help it. I laughed. A big, loud, belly laugh that made everyone freeze. Grandma? Chloe said, lowering her phone mid-sob. What's so funny? I wiped a tear from my eye, not from crying, mind you, but from the sheer ridiculousness. Oh, honey, everything. You're crying over a guy who smells like a gas station air freshener. Ethan's out there making me a meme, and I'm just trying to keep my face from looking like a raisin. This is a circus, and I'm the ringmaster by accident. Lisa snorted, covering her mouth. Mom, you're losing it. Mark grinned, holding up Trent's phone. Nah, she's onto something. Check this. Ethan just posted a remix of your face-melting video with circus music. It's got clowns dancing around you. I groaned, but I couldn't stop laughing. Perfect. Just slap a red nose on me and call it a day. Chloe, though, wasn't amused. She huffed, restarting her live stream. See? She doesn't even care. My life's falling apart, and she's laughing. I roll my eyes, grabbing a throw blanket to toss over my lap. Might as well get comfy for this meltdown. Chloe, your life's not falling apart. It's just taking a detour through crazy town. Trust me, I've been there, usually because of your mom and uncle. Lisa shot me a mock glare. Hey, I was an angel. Mark chuckled. Yeah, an angel who set the garage on fire trying to impress that biker guy in high school. Lisa swatted him. That was an accident. And you're one to talk. Mister, I'll borrow Mom's car and return it with no gas. I waved them off. Kids, save the sibling roast for later. We've got a grandkid crisis to handle. But Chloe wasn't listening. She was too busy reading her live chat, her eyes widening. Oh my God, they're saying Trent's already with someone else. Look. She shoved her phone at me, and sure enough, there was a blurry pic of Trent cozying up to some girl with pink hair and a crop top that looked like it was losing a fight with gravity. That's from an hour ago. Chloe wailed. He was here an hour ago. I patted her knee. See? Told you he's a walking red flag. You're better off without him. But Chloe wasn't hearing it. She jumped up, pacing like Lisa had earlier. No, I'm not. I need him back. He's my ticket to going viral. Mark raised an eyebrow. Viral? Chloe, you're already viral. Half the internet's watching you cry on Grandma's couch. She froze, then grinned, a little too maniacally for my taste. You're right. I'm trending. I can spin this. Before I could stop her, she was back on her phone, flipping her hair and wiping her tears. Okay, fam, update time. Trent's a jerk, but I'm rising above it. Watch me glow up, starting with Grandma's secret stash. She darted to my vanity, grabbing the retinol serum like it was a trophy. This stuff's magic, right? Maybe it'll fix my broken heart. I lunged after her. Chloe, put that down. It's not a toy, it's expensive. But she was already unscrewing the cap, dabbing it on her cheeks like it was war paint.
See?
Instant glow. Thanks, Grandma. The chat exploded. Emojis, hearts, YS Queen, and I sank back into my chair, defeated.
Great.
Now I'm her skincare sponsor.
Lisa laughed.
You should charge her for the endorsement. Mark nodded. Seriously, you could start a brand. Drama-proof retinol. I was about to fire back when my phone buzzed. Ethan again. A video link. I clicked it, dreading what I'd see. There I was, in all my blurry glory, chasing Chloe around the living room, yelling about the serum, with cartoon sparkles added every time she dabbed it on. The caption, Grandma's glow-up goals foot Chloe's meltdown. It had 1 million views already. Ethan, I muttered. You're grounded too. I don't care if you're not here. Lisa peeked over my shoulder, cackling. He's good, I'll give him that. I glared at her. Good? He's turning me into a laughingstock. But deep down I had to admit, the kid had skills. Twisted, chaotic skills, but skills nonetheless. Chloe, meanwhile, was still alive, now posing with the serum bottle like it was her Oscar. This is my comeback, y'all. Trent who? I've got family drama and flawless skin. Just then the doorbell rang. I groaned, hauling myself up. If that's Trent again, I'm calling the cops. But it wasn't Trent. It was Rick, my neighbor, holding a plate of brownies and looking confused. Hey, I saw a lot of commotion over here. Everything okay? I sighed, taking the brownies. Rick, you have no idea. Come in if you dare. He stepped inside, blinking at the scene, Chloe filming, Lisa and Mark bickering over Trent's phone, me clutching brownies like a lifeline. Wow, he said, scratching his head. Your family's lively. I smirked. That's one word for it. Want a front row seat to the madness. He hesitated, then grinned.
Sure.
Beats watching TV. Chloe spotted him and gasped. Wait, is that the guy from the photo? Grandma's mystery man. I nearly choked on a brownie crumb. Chloe, no. He's just Rick. He lives next door. But she was already spinning it for her audience. Ooh. Plot twist. Grandma's got a sweet neighbor bringing her treats. Is this the real love story? Rick turned red, stammering. I just brought brownies. Lisa howled with laughter. Oh, this is too good. Rick, you're in the drama now. I shoved a brownie in my mouth to keep from screaming. Rick, poor guy, just stood there, holding the plate like a shield. I didn't sign up for this, he muttered. I swallowed, patting his arm. None of us did, Rick. None of us did. But as Chloe's chat lit up with ship it and heart eyes and Ethan's next video pinged my phone, I realized this vortex of chaos was spinning faster than ever. And somehow, I was the center of it all, retinol, brownies, and all. I stood there, brownie crumbs on my shirt, Rick looking like he'd accidentally walked onto a sitcom set, and Chloe still waving that retinol serum like it was her ticket to stardom. My house was a zoo. Lisa and Mark were now arguing over who got to keep Trent's phone as a trophy. Chloe's livestream was racking up viewers faster than I could count, and Ethan's latest video was buzzing my phone like a swarm of angry bees. I'd gone from skincare enthusiast to family drama magnet in less than 48 hours, and I was over it. Way over it. All right, everybody, listen up. I shouted, climbing onto my coffee table for emphasis. It creaked under me, but I didn't care. I needed their attention. Chloe paused her stream, Lisa and Mark stopped mid-bicker, and Rick just stared, brownie plate still in hand. This nonsense ends now, I said, pointing at each of them like a general rallying the troops. Chloe, you're not a victim. You're a drama queen, and it's time to own it. Lisa, Mark, stop egging her on. And Rick, bless you, but you're free to leave before they rope you into this circus permanently. Chloe pouted, lowering the serum. But Grandma, this is my big break. I hopped off the table, gracefully, I might add, and snatched the bottle from her. Your big break isn't crying over a loser or stealing my skincare. It's figuring out who you are without all this noise. She blinked, like the thought had never crossed her mind. Lisa smirked. She's got a point, Chloe. You're milking this harder than I milked that biker story back in the day. Mark laughed. Oh, please, you still bring that up at every family dinner. I turned to Rick, who was edging toward the door. Stay if you want, but I'm warning you, things only get weirder from here. He grinned, setting the brownies on the counter. I'll risk it. This beats reruns any day. I shook my head, muttering, your funeral, before facing the real problem, the viral mess Ethan had unleashed. I grabbed my phone, pulling up his latest masterpiece, a montage of me yelling, Chloe crying, and Rick's blurry mystery man cameo set to some cheesy love ballad. Grandma's Love Glow, the title read. 2 million views. Ethan, I said to no one, since he wasn't here. You're a genius and a menace, and I'm proud and furious all at once. Lisa peeked at the screen, cackling. He's got your number, Mom. Look at that editing. Those sparkles when you grab the serum? Pure gold. I groaned. Gold? It's blackmail material. Next thing you know, he'll have me on a billboard with Retinol Granny plastered across it. Chloe, still sulking, perked up. Wait, that's not a bad idea. We could collab. You, me, and Ethan, family skincare empire. I stared at her, dumbfounded. Collab? Chloe, I'm not launching a brand with you two clowns. I just want my quiet nights back. But she was already typing on her phone, muttering about branding opportunities. Mark chuckled. She's relentless. You've created a monster, Mom. I sighed, sinking onto the couch. No, I just wanted smoother skin. You lot turned it into this. Rick, brave soul, sat beside me, offering a brownie. For what it's worth, you do look pretty glowy despite all this. I took the brownie, smirking. Thanks, Rick. At least someone's noticed the real goal here. Chloe gasped, pointing at us.
See?
I told you. There's chemistry. My chat's going wild. I nearly choked. Chemistry? Chloe, the only chemistry here is between me and this chocolate. Lisa jumped in, grinning. Oh, come on, Mom, play along. Rick's cute, and it'd drive Chloe nuts. Rick turned beet red, stammering, I'm just the neighbor. I swatted Lisa's arm. Stop it. He's not my type, too nice. I'd eat him alive. Rick laughed, relaxing a bit. Fair enough. I'd rather bring brownies than drama, anyway. I nodded. Smart man.
Stick to that.
But Chloe wasn't done. She restarted her live stream, angling the phone to catch me and Rick. Okay, fam, update. Grandma's got a new vibe going with Brownie Guy. Trent's history, and we're pivoting to wholesome. Hit that like button. I lunged for the phone, but she danced away, giggling. Chloe, I swear, I'll hide every serum in this house where you'll never find them. She shrieked. No, not my glow-up juice. Mark stepped in, snagging the phone from her mid-twirl. All right, show's over. Let's give Grandma a break. Chloe whined, but Lisa backed him up. Yeah, kiddo, you had your fun. Time to chill. I shot them both a grateful look, then turned to Rick. You sure you don't want to run? Last chance. He shrugged, grinning. Nah, I'm invested now. Plus, I've got more brownies at home if you need backup. I laughed, really laughed, feeling the tension unwind just a bit. You're a keeper, Rick. Not for me, mind you, but for this madness.
He winked.
Noted. Chloe flopped onto the couch, defeated but still scrolling her comments.
Fine.
But I'm still trending, so I win. Lisa rolled her eyes. You win at being a pain, that's for sure. My phone buzzed again, Ethan with a text. Grandma, you're a legend. Love you. Attached was a screenshot of my Love Glow video hitting 3 million views. I shook my head, texting back, love you too, you little terror. Grounded when I see you. Then I set the phone down, looking around at my chaotic crew, Chloe pouting, Lisa and Mark bickering over the last brownie, Rick watching like he'd stumbled into a gold mine of entertainment. And me, sitting there, face still tingling from that darn retinol. You know what? Maybe this wasn't the quiet life I'd planned. Maybe my kids and grandkids were a tornado of trouble, and maybe I'd never get a peaceful night again. But as I touched my cheek, smooth as silk, despite the insanity, I figured it wasn't all bad. I'd survived the storm, come out glowing, and somehow roped in a brownie-bearing neighbor to boot. Not a bad deal, if you ask me. So I leaned back, took a bite of that brownie, and let them argue it out. The retinol had done its job, and then some. And if this was my new normal, well, I'd just keep slathering it on and riding the wave. Because at the end of the day, family's messy, love's complicated, and a good skincare routine, that's the real hero of the story.